Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Marine Barracks Washington, D.C., and this unique and historic passage of command ceremony, during which the Commandant of the Marine Corps, General Robert B. Neller, will transfer command of the United States Marine Corps to General David H. Berger. Please rise for the arrival of the official party. Please remain standing for the invocation, which will be delivered by the Chaplain of the Marine Corps, Rear Admiral Gregory N. Todd, Chaplain Corps, United States Navy.
Let us pray. Eternal Father, in your graciousness you have given us the great honor and privilege of serving as part of the United States Marine Corps. You bless us with the joy of serving with Marines and sailors we respect and value, and with whom we bond together as a team. As General Neller prepares to pass command to General David Berger, we sift through shared remembrances of the journey, thankful for wise leadership and divine blessing along the way. As this ceremony calls to mind many years of memories, we pray that General Neller will be blessed with the satisfaction gained from a successfully completed mission, that lives were made better by you, O Lord, through him. Because of your goodness, Lord, we are also bold to ask for your spirit of wisdom and strength to rest upon General David Berger as he assumes command of the Marine Corps. Surround him with wise counselors, protect him from both spiritual and temporal enemies, and grant him success in his calling. Lord, we are also bound to gratefully remember the blessing of our military families who also faithfully stand their watch. We thank you for your love, O Lord, shown through Mrs. Darcy Neller's tireless advocacy on behalf of our families. And we pray for Mrs. Donna Berger as she continues support for our families. Grant a special blessing to all our Marine Corps families. And finally, dear Lord, be with our fellow Marines and sailors who right now are on duty, underway, or standing the watch. Send your holy angels to protect them in their tasks and grant them a joyful reunion with faithful loved ones who wait for them at home. Into your hands we commend our prayers, trusting in your love and mercy. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. We begin our ceremony with a concert performed by the United States Marine Drum and Bugle Corps. The unit will open with John Philip Sousa's most famous composition and America's National March, The Stars and Stripes Forever. The unit will then perform Hans Zimmer's Barbarian Horde from his score to the motion picture, The Gladiator. This morning's concert will close with a patriotic hit song written by honorary Marine Lee Greenwood, God Bless the USA. Ladies and gentlemen, Marine Barracks Washington, D.C. is proud to present the Commandant Zone, United States Marine Drum and Bugle Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of the colors and remain standing for the playing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. We are privileged to welcome as our presiding official this morning, the Acting Secretary of Defense, the Honorable Mark T. Esper. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for honors. Now entering the reviewing area is the Commandant of the Marine Corps, General Robert B. Neller. Joining General Neller in the reviewing area is our incoming Commandant, General David H. Berger. Please stand by for the transfer of the battle color of the Marine Corps, which will be facilitated by the Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, Sergeant Major Ronald L. Green. Attention to orders. From President of the United States to General Robert B. Neller, United States Marine Corps. Subject, passage of command. Effective 11 July 2019, you will stand detached from your present station and duties as Commandant of the Marine Corps. On 1 September 2019, you will transfer to the Marine Corps Officers Retired List. At 23:59 on 31 August 2019, you will be released from active duty. As of 31 August 2019, you will complete 45 years, 6 months, and 6 days cumulative service, of which 44 years and 28 days is active service. For the President, Mark T. Esper, Acting Secretary of Defense. From President of the United States to General David H. Berger, United States Marine Corps. Subject, passage of command. Effective 11 July 2019, you will stand detached from your present station and duties. You will proceed and report to Headquarters Marine Corps, the Pentagon, for duty as the 38th Commandant of the United States Marine Corps. For the President, Mark T. Esper, Acting Secretary of Defense. Ladies and gentlemen, now entering the reviewing area is the Commandant of the Marine Corps, General David H. Berger. Please rise as we proudly render honors to our new Commandant. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, last evening, a private retirement ceremony was conducted in the home of the Commandants for General Neller, during which he was awarded the Distinguished Service Medal and received several laudatory letters from such distinguished persons as the President of the United States, the Secretary of the Navy, and many others. Please join us in congratulating our 37th Commandant on his most distinguished career. Ladies and gentlemen, General Neller will now inform the Commandant of the reviewing area for pass and review. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the Acting Secretary of Defense, the Honorable Mark T. Esper.
Well, good morning, everyone. It is my distinct pleasure to be here today for this very special ceremony as we honor General Bob Neller's extraordinary service and install General Dave Berger as the next Commandant of the Marine Corps. Welcome to all of our distinguished members of Congress who have joined us here, as well as the many representatives from our ally and partner nations who are in attendance. And a special welcome to lifelong Marine and Medal of Honor recipient Colonel Harvey Barnum. I also want to recognize General Neller's wife, Darcy, who has supported Bob throughout his long and distinguished service, along with their 3 children, Brett, Claire, and Kurt. We know that our military families also serve, and we recognize your great contributions to Bob's exceptional achievements. So thank you very much. And to General Berger's family, his wife Donna, and his 4 sons, Joseph, Ryan, Jeffrey, and Philip, your service continues as we pass the torch from one exceptional leader to another. Thank you for your unwavering support to Dave and for your enduring commitment to the nation. I also want to recognize all of our Marines in attendance today. The U.S. Marine Corps embodies military readiness at its best, and I thank you for your discipline, your sacrifice, and your service to our great country. Thank you. And as always, you look fantastic. For General Neller, today marks the culmination of an incredible career that spans over 4 decades of service. He has risen to the highest point within the Corps, and his humble beginnings reflect the uniqueness of the meritocracy that is the American military and the Marine Corps in particular. When once asked why he joined the Marines, General Neller's reply was simply, "I needed a job." Intending to get married and short on money, a stint in the Marine Corps seemed like a great opportunity. Little did Bob know he would soon discover that he was born to lead Marines. General Neller's path throughout these past 44 years of service has taken him through Somalia, Panama, Belgium, Bosnia, Iraq, and Washington, D.C., to name a few places. And Bob, you have to tell me sometime which combat post was the toughest. At each stop along the way, he excelled in his duties. A proven combat veteran, he has commanded at every level, and through his direct and personal leadership style, he always took care of his Marines. As Commandant, General Neller led the service through a critical inflection point that transitioned the Corps, its focus from the counterinsurgency operations that have dominated the past 18 years to a renewed emphasis on high-intensity conflict against great power competitors. He spearheaded efforts to modernize how the Marine Corps organizes, trains, and equips for future conflict, ensuring the men and women of the Corps are prepared to fight and succeed on the battlefield. In this, he continues the Marines' tradition of constantly striving for self-improvement. As a trusted advisor on the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Neller is known for his passion for accomplishing the mission and his candor in providing military advice. Never one to shy away from the toughest issues, he could always be counted on to advocate for the men and women of the Corps and for the Joint Force. He is endeared as a Marine's Marine, beloved by his subordinates who will proudly follow him into any battle. General Neller, we owe you a tremendous debt of gratitude for your leadership, which will resonate within the Corps long after you depart. Throughout your storied career, you have shaped generations of Marines who will benefit from your service for many, many years to come. As you and Darcy head for Texas and well-deserved time with your grandchildren, know that your legacy will endure in a more capable U.S. Marine Corps, a stronger department, and a safer nation. Thank you. As you retire this post, rest assured the Marine Corps is in great hands as you pass the helm to a strong, supremely qualified leader. As the Commanding General of the Marine Corps Combat Development Command and the Deputy Commandant for Combat Development and Integration, General Dave Berger has demonstrated his exceptional talent and foresight for the future. In this renewed era of great power competition, I can think of no better leader to assume the duties of Commandant. General Berger understands well the challenges we face in today's complex strategic environment. His work to help shape the way we train and equip our Marines for future battles makes him the perfect fit for this position. He is a visionary who is committed to marching the Marine Corps down the path to modernizing for future warfare. As General Berger has proven through his career, he possesses the intellect, the stamina, and the courage needed to succeed in this demanding position. Dave, as you take the reins, know that we have the utmost confidence in your abilities. I have no doubt that you will excel here, just as you've done throughout your exceptional career. Thank you for your continued service. We look forward to the Marine Corps' continued success under your command. In closing, I want to thank our Marines for what they do each and every day to keep our great country safe. Throughout all corners of the world, Marines are standing watch at all hours of the day under the most difficult conditions. When America needs a job done well, she can continue to count on the few and the proud to accomplish the mission. Thank you all for being here today. Semper Fi. May God bless the Marine Corps, the United States military, and our great nation. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 37th Commandant of the Marine Corps, General Robert B. Neller.
So you're all probably wondering what I'm going to do now, right? A lot of emotions this morning, but first, thanks to all of you for coming. I'm not going to try to name everybody because we'd be here all day, and so far the weather's holding up. And if you don't remember, we changed the sequence at parades to get the Marines out of here so I don't have to stand out here and listen to a bunch of old people talk and bake in the sun. So, but thanks to everybody for taking the time. Accepting the invitation. I know we got people here that traveled from Japan, Argentina, lots of distances, and they didn't have to do that, but we really appreciate that. I'd like to thank all the Marines at the barracks, Colonel Tomich and his folks. Place looks great. Weather's going to hold out. Please join us in the garden for the reception. I'd like to thank all the Marines across our Corps that the chaplain recognized. But for the people here, everybody's here has helped Darcy and I somewhere along the way. We've crossed paths. I got some college friends here. I do have friends. There's two of them. That everybody here is somewhere along the line, you've either stopped me, pushed me, helped me, guided me, gave me a better idea. And for that, I'll be eternally grateful. I'd also like to thank the Bergers for being willing to take on this post. We tried to convey to them what this is, but there's many of you, there's a few of you in the audience who have sat in here or been a service chief, and I don't think you really understand it until you pass it. But you got a really good team led by our chairman, General Dunford, who was a gift to the nation. I'd ask you to join me in a round of applause for our chairman. But General Milley, Chief of Staff of the Army, who's testifying right now, Senator Kane, you're supposed to be over there asking him really hard questions. Dave Goldfein, Joe Lengel, Carl Schultz, John Richardson. Great team, great teammates. Thank you so much. And for all the co-coms and everybody for listening to us. I could go on, but again, thanks. People have asked me recently, some questions. First question, do you have any regrets? I'm like, oh, you don't have enough time. First and foremost, in April of 1977, I really regret burning down Range 2 at Camp Hansen. I didn't really mean to do that. I mean, we had a big pile of mortar increments, and they were going to torch them off, and I made the long chain, being a smart second lieutenant. It was a little windy, and the increment went in the air, and the grass was dry, and we burned down the whole range. And I thought I was watching something else burn as the flames worked their way all the way to the top of the ridge. And I got back to the battalion area, and they said, go see the XO, Major Cregan, who is now Monsignor Cregan. And I walked in his office, I stood at attention, reported, he goes, did you burn down that range? Sir, I did. Go see the battalion commander. Lieutenant Colonel Peifel, Bruce Peifel, walked in, stood at his desk, reported, did you burn down that range? Sir, I did. Don't do that again. That's it. Get out. And I left, and I was so happy. And I've had a couple of those where, for whatever reason, divine intervention or pity or just general disdain for my ability, I got to walk away and continue to serve and lead Marines. I regret that it's so slow to make change. I regret that sometimes we may not meet the mark as a Marine Corps, but that's a small number of us. I regret if any time I failed, because any failing of our Corps resides with me, and all the success goes to the Marines. The second question I get asked is, what do you want to be remembered for? What's your legacy? I said, I don't know. That's for the historians to decide if we did in the last 4 years anything worthy of note. But I think Sergeant Major Green and I have talked about, because he's getting ready to go over the side, it's a tradition. When you go to a training area or go to a range, you want to leave the range and training area better than you found it. You want to make it a little bit cleaner, a little bit neater. The unit that used the range is trained a little bit more. And so if I want anybody to remember anything about the last 4 years, is that our Corps, we're a little bit better place. We're a little more ready. We're a little better trained. We got a little bit better equipment. But that's come through a lot of hard work from the Marines that are here in the stands, and the senior leaders and the staff NCOs that have gone out there and did the work to leave the range in a better place. And the last question they asked me is, what are you most proud of? And that's tough. I guess in the aggregate, I'm proud of having served for, and when they read it last night, 45 years, I almost fell out of my chair. It doesn't seem like 45 years, but I'm proud that I'm proud of all the Marines I served with. I know what the Marine Corps looked like when I came in and got to Okinawa and 3rd Battalion, 4th Marines in June of 1976. And to be frank, and many of you, the senior Marines that are here, you remember, we weren't very good. We had good Marines, but as a group, we weren't. Our gear was old. We were at the beginning of the all-volunteer force. We had Marines in our ranks that today, they never make it in that recruiter's front hatch. But they were still Marines, and we trained them, and we did the best we could with the money we had and the gear. But over time, through the efforts of great commandants like General Wilson, and General Barrow. We raised our standards. We improved our recruiting. We improved our training. General Gray made us think about war fighting and maneuver warfare. We innovated with the Harrier and the Osprey. And then we went to war for the last 18 years. And as much as we would like to stay in the world of counterinsurgency and stability ops, which is not going to go away, we've got to get ready for that next fight, which is going to be very, very different. It's going to be very different against somebody who's certainly in many ways as capable, if not more capable than us, if it comes to that. Hopefully it won't, but we can't count on that. Our course of action is not hope, it's be prepared. I'm proud to be part of an organization in the U.S. military that's held in high esteem, maybe of any institution in our country, the highest esteem, because they believe that we do what we say and say what we do, and we hold ourselves accountable, that if somebody says something, it's going to happen, that we're men and women of virtue and character. We're not perfect. Sometimes we fall short. But for the most part, we do pretty well. And I think one of the reasons most of us stay in our ranks is we like being around people like us. We like being around people who are men and women of virtue and character. And when you ask them to do something, they either say, I got it, or it's already done. And that makes serving every day a blessing. I'm also proud of my family. I think I did a great job raising 3 kids. I've been told that, no, you were really not much of a factor in that. Well, when I was there, did I do okay? Yeah, like when you were there. Because we were training, we're in the field, we're deployed, and we're no different. The Neller family is no different than the Berger family or any other military family in any other branch of the service. Our spouses carry the load when we're not there, and they probably carry the load when we are there. So we've got 3 great kids, Kurt, Brett, and Claire. They're married to 3 really great people. We've got 3 grandsons and a 4th one on the way. But that all goes to my battle buddy, Darcy. So like the Bergers, I met this girl in sophomore English at East Lansing High School, and she really wasn't that interested in me. Went on a couple dates and found out she wasn't interested in me. Long story short is all the seniors graduated. I got a nicer car, and I had a shot. And somehow she decided to take on this restoration project. So I thank you for putting up with me, keeping me straight, telling me on those days when I woke up when I didn't want to be the commandant. Dave, there'll be days when you wake up you just don't want to be the commandant. But you are the commandant. You're our commandant. And so, as the poster says, put on your big boy pants, get out there and do your job. And everybody will follow. But Darcy, thank you so much. I'm not sure what it's going to be like with me around all the time. I'm going to certainly have to get a job because I'm not sure I'll survive first contact in the house. But we are going to Texas, and if we ever get this house built, we'll move in. That's another story. But again, I thank everybody for being here. You're honorous with your presence. We would have never been able to do this without your help and your support. You did stuff that I probably never know about, and you did a lot of stuff that I saw that was selfless, and it was about the team. And this day, at the end of the day, is not about me. It's not about Dave Berger. It's about our Corps, and it's about those 186,000 active and 39,000 reserve, 20,000 civilians, and about 100,000 family members out there that do the nation's business under the direction of the President, Commander-in-Chief, and Secretary of Defense. And so I'd ask you to keep them in your thoughts. Give them the the will to do their mission, to work hard and to train hard and be prepared for whatever comes their way. But I look forward to seeing folks afterwards. I think the weather's going to hold off long enough for that. But again, thanks. It's been a great ride, but it's time. It's time. I had my run, and I'm going home. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Commandant of the Marine Corps, General David H. Berger.
Mr. Secretary, Chairman Dunford, members of Congress, and all the senior leaders that are here, and state leaders, Marines, and friends of Marines, as General Neller and the Secretary said, it really makes it a special day that you're here. It would not be the same turnover without you. So we're very grateful that you're here. I was thinking, sitting in the front row, which I've never sat in before, the view, but I've been to ceremonies here, the view when you look out from the bleachers is pretty impressive. It's like borderline inspiring. I don't quite know why. I think General Neller just captured it. This is precision. This is discipline. This is as close to perfection as you can get, which is the Marine Corps. Never satisfied, as General Neller said, but always striving for perfection. When you look back, where I'm privileged to stand now, when you look back into the stands, it is, I would just tell you, equally inspiring. And I say that because the people, when you stand here and look back, these are leaders that you look up to. These are the quiet heroes of our Corps. And I would just tell you thank you on behalf of the Marine Corps. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your personal example. Thank you for your faithful service to Corps and country. There are just a couple thanks. They won't be many. First, Secretary Spencer could not join us here today, but there's no way I would be out here without him nominating me. And that means he has confidence. I need to thank him for that. I am grateful for his support. So it begins there. The second thank you will be from Donna and me to the Nellers. There isn't really a book on how to turn over command, how to transition command, that I know of. But if there's a standard, a gold standard, it's how they do it. That house down there where they live, they moved out probably 3 weeks ago, almost a month ago, early. I couldn't tell you the hours they spent around the kitchen table in that quarters with me and Donna while we asked question after question after question about what it means to be Commandant of the Marine Corps. They made it uncomfortable for the Nellers in order for it to be comfortable for the Bergers. That's an example. We will never be able to pay you back. Hopefully we'll visit you in Texas, and both of us wish you the very best. There's a lot of mentors that are here today and some that are not. I would just tell you as a group, from the very beginning until today, we are shaped a lot by the people who coach us. And just as Commandant Neller said, for me the same. People are in these stands and not in these stands. When we've made mistakes, when we've made bad decisions, they gave us a second chance. They would tell us, don't ever do that again. You need to think about this and that. Don't do that again. All I would say to the mentors who are here for me, who have coached me, is please do not let go. I am still coachable. I still need mentoring. But I'm very grateful for everything that you've done for me and Donna so far. The friends that Secretary Esper and the Neller spoke of. Friends in the military and friends in the Marine Corps are not like friends anywhere else. They're completely different. When we deploy, when we're not there, there's a whole nother family, they're not really relatives, but they pretty much are, that step in. Marine friends never leave you. There are a lot of friends here today, and Don and I are very blessed to have so many of them. Lastly is certainly the family, not last because they're last, but because they're most important. Donna's family and my family, very, very close. And each deployment, each time when I was not there, they filled that complete void. I don't know how. It's like you aren't even missed very much. You are, but the family and the friends of the Marine Corps just completely wrap themselves around your family in a way like I'd never seen anywhere else. They take care of you. They make sure everything's safe. They check on Donna and the boys. It's really remarkable. We do have 4 remarkable sons who have started remarkable families of their own. Could not be more proud. And as General Neller said, Don and I, since high school, been best friends. We are super excited to be where we are today. And I love you, babe. There's no way I can say it any better. I'm really looking forward to the life in front of us. If I had just a word or two to say to Marines, I would tell them the same thing that another former Commandant mentioned to me a few years ago. I consider it a privilege just to wear the uniform, just to stand in their ranks. Even if you were not the Commandant, it wouldn't matter, Commandant or Corporal. Just the privilege of wearing this uniform and calling yourself a Marine, it's an honor. I know they are deployed around the world. I know they are taking care of us so that we can sit here in the bleachers. They are, as the Navy says, they're standing the watch and they're away from their families. We need to remember that, as General Neller said. I know we need to modernize the Marine Corps. I know we need to train better. I know we need to recruit the very best people we can, and we need to keep them in our ranks. We need to do all of that because, as Chairman Dunford has told us before, we will never send our force, we will never send our Marines into a fair fight. So I know what we need to do. And I'll just finish by saying that I believe in my soul Marines are different. We are not like everybody else. And the Marine Corps is not like every other organization. I think we are not defined by our equipment or our vehicles or our planes or anything else. I think our identity, in our soul, our identity is firmly rooted in our warrior ethos. This is the force that will always adapt and overcome, no matter what the circumstances are. We fight and win in any climate and place. That's what we do, and that's who we are. Semper Fidelis. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our ceremony. At this time, we ask that you please remain in your seating area until the official party has departed, after which escorts will direct you to the receiving lines for General Berger and General Neller that will form at the center of the parade deck. A reception will follow in the Marine Family Garden. On behalf of Marine Barracks Washington, D.C., thank you for your attendance, and Semper Fidelis.